Hi Artsies, I'm Mrs. B. Welcome to Umaarteng Penmanship. In this video, I will teach you different techniques in watercolor calligraphy. If you are new to my channel, I create calligraphy tutorials. So if you like those kinds of videos, you can subscribe to my channel because I upload a new video every Friday. Remember also to smash the notification bell so you will be updated with my latest uploads. Alright, so get your supplies ready with you and let's get started. Alright, so I will be teaching you different techniques in watercolor calligraphy. I want to show you the watercolor pan set that I have. This is Mungyo professional watercolor pan set in 48 colors. I also have a review of this watercolor so you can check it out. I will put the link into the description box. Okay, so I did not start with this professional pan set. The reason that I got professional pan set is because I am exploring in watercolors and expect that you will see this watercolor tutorial also in my channel, so watch out for that. If you're interested in watercolors, I will be adding that to my channel. Also, I want you to the reason that I'm showing this to you, I want you to remember some things very important in doing watercolor calligraphy. You can mix the colors, but I mean one stroke like in one color, another stroke or another letter with another color. But I have to remind you things that you could do watercolor calligraphy in monochrome or one color. It's either that you will use different shades of green like this. I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 greens. I have 1 2 3 4 and 5 blues. For the yellow, for the orange, I have 1 2 3 4. These are my reds. 5. I have some yellows here, 2 yellows. Actually, this is yellow also, and some browns. Okay, so I have different shades of greens and browns or blues. You can have monochromatic, that's one color in one calligraphy. It's either that you will use different shades, or you could use one color of green or one color of blue, for example, like in this one, or red if you want to. It's up to you. You can choose one color, but you can make different values of that color. You can make it dark, you can make it light. The good thing about watercolor, the reason that I love it, is that you can just add water to make darker value and to make lighter value. Alright, also another thing that I want you to know about watercolors is that you can mix or you can blend, and you can also do color in rainbow. Like you can use 2 colors or multicolors. It's up to you, but make sure that the colors that would be beside it would be like just a rainbow. If you look into a color wheel, like red and green is opposite colors, and if you mix it together, or if you blend it together, it will turn brown. It won't look very nice. Like you could do blue, and then the next color would be green, and the next color, your next color would be yellow, and the next color would be orange, and then red, and then violet. That's it. You should not mix just any color that you want. You have to be also strategically use the watercolor or the colors that you will also use. Aside from that, this pan set has also metallic colors like the copper, the gold, the silver, and the pearl white. And that's why I like it so much. Okay, just to review, we have these watercolors in a solid form. Okay, so what we need to do is to make it in liquid form. I will be using my leftover watercolors here for this tutorial. You could use any colors that you like. Okay, so first would be, I would be using the watercolor paintbrush. We would be needing watercolor paintbrush for the watercolor calligraphy. We do not want to use any other brush that is not good for watercolor. I am using size 2. You could use a smaller one as long as it is round and pointed tip, because the pointed tip will help you to do thin lines, especially the upper or thin upstrokes, so it is good. Alright, and of course the water brush, this is a small one. Okay, I have also the materials, the details of it on my previous tutorial, so better check on that. Okay, so I'm wetting my brush and I will be getting paint here. The first technique that I will teach you is the wet on dry technique. Okay, so if you look here, I put water in this bowl, making it as a liquid form. Okay, we do not want to be too wet or puddling in your paper, so we're removing the excess on the side here. Okay, for example, I will be doing a calligraphy. Let's start with letter A, let's say. Okay, so let's do an oval here. Alright. So if you notice, if you having downstroke, you can make thicker, but you can avoid that but not pushing your brush too much. Okay, you could fix it a little. This is good in watercolor calligraphy. You could fix the letters even if you done with it, right? Aside from the brush pens, once you wrote it, that's it. Okay, so we can make, let's try another letter here. Let's try the B. Okay, there. The difficulty with this paintbrush is that it's too pointy, but if you have just right amount of round brush, that would be also good. Okay, I will be using the water brush, okay, so that I could show you how to use this. So when you have a water brush, you will need to put water in this. This is very good when you are traveling. Okay, so this is also showing you the difference of the paintbrush and the water brush. Okay, there you go. Then let's write the B. Okay, there. It really shows that I'm really comfortable using this in calligraphy than the watercolor brush that I have. But it's fine. I'm still using it. Okay, so this is the first technique, the wet and dry. It's called wet and dry because we're putting wet paint on a wet paper. Now the next technique that I will teach you is the wet on wet technique. So when say wet on wet, we will be having wet paint on a wet paper. So let's say we will be writing letter M. Okay, I could press this. Oops, okay. I have a dirty water because I used this earlier. So let's remove that. Let's get clean water from the cup. Then we could write. You may not barely see it, but you may see it shiny. Okay, let's say we'll be writing M. Just to let you know, to avoid puddling on your paper. Okay, because it happened on my paper, I will be removing some of it. Okay, let me make it bigger. Then what you can do is to clean your brush. You lift some paint there, and then try it on your tissue. Okay, now let's drop some water. I'm sorry, drop some paint. Okay, let me add. Okay, so now I'm dropping paint. For this technique, you could use different colors. I think my M is drying. Okay, so let me get some. Let me wet it again. And then we will be adding. Okay, still blue. Okay, then we can add different color. Okay, I will be showing this on a different tutorial, but let's still do this here. Okay, remember, if you are mixing colors, you can mix two different colors, as long as it is side by side, and the watercolor wheel, or I mean color wheel, we do not want to have like red here, or I mean opposite color like orange, or else it will turn brown. Okay, so there, our M. The next technique that I will teach you is that to blend. Hello Artsies, I want you to know that I created my coffee page. You can support me in the price of a cup of coffee. I'm working on the worksheets right now that can be downloaded, and some can be available to sell online, as well as an art journal that would be also on my coffee page. So your support is appreciated. You can go to ko-fi.com, that is ko-fi.com/Umaarteng Penmanship. I will also put the link down on the description below. Now let's go back to the video. Okay, since you can see that the blue and the green here is mixed together, you can actually fix it a little. So it will be, you would see blue and green together in one letter. You can do that. Okay, now let's try doing blending, but this is with a different letter. Let's say I would be writing, let me use green here. Let's say we are writing a word, let's say joy. I used that before in my previous tutorial. Okay, the word joy. Okay, so there. If you are going to blend it, I'm not going to wash my brush, but I'm going to get blue right away. Okay. Then, I'm not going to wash my brush again. I'm going to get green and let it touch. Okay. There. So if you see in this part, it's green, still green. This is blue. When it comes here, it shows that it's already blue-green here. And on this part, you will see that the blue is going to the green. Okay, there. It's actually bleeding, but let me arrange it. I want it to be blue, so I'm going to blend it more. I got the blue, then I'm going to mix it with that paint. There you go. So there, I blended it. Let me get, I am dabbing my brush here so that to avoid too much water on the paper. And I got the green, and let me clean the green. Let me add the green here, so to make it more greener. There you go. So we have again wet and wet, wet and dry, wet and wet. We have blending. Now let's do the last technique that we have. It would be bleeding. So when we say bleed, it's what happened like in the O and the Y here. Let's do it again. Okay, let's say, let me use different color now, like orange and yellow. Okay, make sure that your paint is in a liquid form, okay, before you start. Okay, so I have the yellow on my brush. Okay, let's try it. Okay, let's write the word. Yeah, okay, let's try the word hop. Okay, so I have this H. Then I want the next stroke would be orange. So I didn't clean my brush. I just dip it into the orange, and I let the orange bleed with the yellow. Push the orange here is pushing this yellow back. Then while this one is dry here on the end of the H, I'll write again. Okay, let me dab a little. It's too wet. Okay, now we have the O. I'm not going to clean my brush. I'm going to dip it in the orange. Okay, my P is okay. That downstroke is still wet. Now, okay, I added the yellow here to enter P. So if you see here, the orange is pushing the yellow back on the H here, and then here the yellow is pushing the orange back. Okay, so that is what we call bleeding. So you let the color mix together. Just remember, for doing the bleeding, your previous stroke is wet so that it will mix together. It will naturally make the job works to bleed itself and to combine together the colors. Okay, so that's it for our techniques on watercolor calligraphy. I hope you learned something today. If you like this video, please hit the like button and remember to subscribe to my channel so that you will get more calligraphy tutorials. Remember that practice makes perfect, perfect makes permanent, so keep on practicing, keep on writing. Till next time!